Well, hey guys, welcome back. If you hadn't heard, I am actively recovering from COVID-19 and it's put me back behind schedule, probably close to 2 weeks. So you may hear some congestion and occasional clearing of my throat during the video, but today we're taking a look at the Broadway Limited 844. It's an FEF Northern locomotive. You saw a sneak peek on my channel a few months ago. Now the production model's here, so let's see what you get in the box on what I would consider my favorite locomotive type in all of model railroading. So let's get started. Okay, so get this out of the plastic. Then you have a sleeve here, Paragon 4, center of the sleeve, and on the other side, premium HO scale locomotives. Broadway Limited changing up their packaging a little bit here. And get the locomotive out. I believe the literature is kind of hiding out back here, but the locomotive itself, got a little funnel to fill the smokestack. Slide the sleeve off here. Open the clamshell. Also inside the shell is traction tires and a tool for installation of that. Then you have the locomotive itself. We'll pull that right out and get rid of all the packaging. So you see how the new packaging works. Slide out from the center partition. You can get a lot of the paperwork here in a little container. That includes the functions and exploded parts diagram and the operator's manual, which is over 20 pages, over 30 pages of information. And it just slides in that little cubby right there. You got a limited warranty, 1 year. I'm going to use the box to kind of keep this all in one piece. And I told you in the pre-production review that this is the most accurate FEF Northern out, and that's true. And it's really not that hard to do because there's just been so many blunders by different manufacturers in the past. But Broadway Limited kind of got all their cylinders going and everything on the same page, and you've got a highly accurate FEF Northern, and I'll show you just what I'm talking about here. The locomotive up front has flying number boards, 844, classification lights. You got the headlight and the 844 shield below. Earlier versions had the Mars light. That's not present on this version. Who knows if they'll release maybe a version with that later. But this is, as you would see, 844 today. There is a snow plow, if you want to call it, cow catcher up front there with a coupler cut bar just above it. Smoke box door with all the latches, 844 on each side of the headlight there as well. Here you have the wind deflectors. Some people call them elephant ears, but they basically keep smoke out of the crew's face. And whistle is right behind the smoke stack. Some plumbing up there as well that I've matched up on actual pictures. And here's a doozy that, you know, simply just wasn't done. It should have been done, could have been done, but I think around 2011 or 12, maybe a little later, 844 got white walls and a running board. So they've accurately modeled that. So the wheels have white walls all the way around and that running board there, you know. You saw models coming out with the running board but no wheels white walled, and all kinds of crazy stuff was coming out that just, you know, showed lack of an attempt basically. Even one model had silver tipped ends on their wheel bearing caps here, but not back there on the tender. So all they had to do was fire on all cylinders, no pun intended, and get that right, and bam, you have the most accurate 844 out there. And I don't want to discount what Broadway's done, because they definitely took and put some effort into it. But they've added things like cab figures. As you can see there, the rivet detail on the roof pattern is correct. There's an actual vent up top that clicks open at different angles, and that's correct. You know, models have messed up the dual dynamo before. So these are two steam generated dynamos where they actually help power the train consist by generating steam and converting that into energy, electricity. The way the plumbing is done here on the firebox, rivets on the firebox, the trailing trucks, we talked about the silver capped ends, all of that just has been hit and miss on previous models. Then we get to the tender, and the tender's really well done. There is should be a toolbox aft of this circular area here, but a lot of other details are matching up when they haven't on previous tenders from different models as well. There's kind of a hose, like a flexible hose for servicing and getting water into this tender that's not included, but that's kind of hard to model. You know, you could get some really small plastic thin hose or something. Here's the back of the model. So there's lit marker lights in the back. There is on the real thing, there's, I believe, a big meter that kind of shows where the water fill goes and things like that. So, you know, no models perfectly nails every aspect, but that is this is a much needed and much desired improvement over previous models. Even some of the side detail of the tender, such as this here, like these compartments. You got metal couplers as well. Give you a view of the 844 from this angle. But overall, this is a stunning model. It presents well. It's got a nice matte black. You know, knowing Broadway Limited, this isn't the end of this model. I'm sure there's going to be different variations and ages of, you know, when eras of when this was out. They've made shiny models before for excursion service for some models, like they just did that recently with the Norfolk and Western Class A. So you never know what's coming from Broadway Limited on the future of this, but I could probably assure you this isn't going to be the end of the FEF Northerns. Eccentric crank detail on the sides, nicely done. The drive rods, you know, we've already talked about the plumbing on the smoke box, or the firebox. Smoke box door is nice as well. So you got a nice metal detailed bell that can be positioned, and the valves back here are metal as well, and then you've got the handrails that run along with the throttle itself, throttle body, and the little latch there that helps open up the throttle is present as well. So that's about the detail. I did want to get zoomed in because the lighting seems like it sucks up all the bright light, but we'll get into operation next. Alright, we got it powered on here. Took the bell. Alright, we're going to move this thing. As you can see, there's smoke, and there's a smoking whistle. people want to hear the alternate whistle, so I'll do that real quick. Right here is the alternate whistle. So I just wanted you guys to hear both whistles. We're going to go ahead and move this thing at 1 speed step here. Alright, we're going to start backwards at 1 speed step. That is 1 out of 28. Here's 1 out of 128. Still very smooth, no stuttering. Switch direction here. 1 forward, no stuttering. So that is forward and backward movement. You can also turn off smoke if you don't like smoke. I know there's been comments about it. Some people like it, some people don't. You can turn smoke off with F7. Alright, we're going to run this through AccuTrack at 1 speed step out of 128. So we got it about 2.5 scale miles an hour, which probably helps with the smoothness, but that's speed step 1 there. So pull test was similar to what was on the pre-production, which was 5.8 on the pre-production, and this one pulled at 6. We're now checking coupler height, and you can judge for yourself. Maybe a little low there. And for the front coupler, there's not one present, but they have this so you can switch it out with the cow catcher, if you want to call it, or front pilot, and put a coupler there for double heading, or if you want a more realistic appearance or whatever. Alright, I think we can kill some lights and take a look at the lighting features. We're pretty dark right now, but we can move this thing. First thing you're going to see is a cab light. You do hear the dynamo spin up when it's on. And the dynamo, like we mentioned before, controls power to the locomotive and the accessories of the locomotive, and also the consist in a lot of cases. They also have power cars to do that. Here's your look at the headlight and classification lights up front. A little hard to see, but 844 number boards are nice. Classification and headlight is nice. Number boards have a perfect see-through without any real glaring white areas where the white light is getting through too much, and a good color temperature. Here's the rear light, the locomotive, as you can see there for reference. A little wheel flange noise as well. Got the light back on now, but you can see the rear emergency light is lit. That is F20. And that's how that works. Another thing I forgot to mention is the Paragon 4 Series has a capacitor in it. It's a little bit of a power reserve if you have dirty track or an area of track that isn't powered properly. That locomotive is going to be able to coast right through. It doesn't last terribly long, but take it off. As you can see there, it's still going for a few seconds. I did also want to show you 843 and just some of the differences. Broadway Limited didn't just slap the same details on all the different numbers. There are differences in the tender, as you can see, from 843 over here to 844 over there. There's a single dynamo because 843 was freight service, I believe, primarily. I don't really know why. There's even some that they put out with triple stacks. This is not one of them. And this does have that Mars light that we talked about on the front there, because it had a Mars light in service. That's right above the headlight there. So those are just some differences Broadway Limited is making to each and every variation of these FEF Northerns to make them accurate and just a great representation of the real thing. Well, there's a lot of different functions we didn't cover with this, including grade crossing signal on function 13. There's also a lot of different chatters, including radio check chatter.
I don't know if he'll be able to come out or not, but that's all I got today. Over.
Okay. I'll give you a holler after he gets by then. Thanks.
So a lot of stuff like that. There's city crew chatter, farm crew chatter.
Yeah, what time you usually head for the barn? Over.
So stuff like that is really neat. Let's see, let's do city real quick. So, and then there's even background noises as you go past different scenes. You can do like lumber mill. Stuff like that as you go through different scenes in the your model railroad, basically. The last thing I want to do is station sounds, which is 14. So I don't usually go through all those sounds. There's also a macro record and play where you can record a sequence of whistle, bell, and then play it back through F26 and F27. F27 will actually record the macro, and F26 will play it. So pretty cool overall, very solid model. Good pull test. I didn't mention that the pull test is about 90 cars, freight cars, so you're going to be able to pull most consists. I can't wait till my model railroad's done so I can see how many brass passenger cars this can pull. I did turn off the smoke, mostly because I don't have smoke fluid. I've lost it somewhere in the move, so I need to order some more. I don't want to dry that unit out through these reviews. But you saw the smoking whistle, you saw the smooth operation. A good pull test was performed off camera, but you can also see it on camera if you want to go back and look at the pre-production sample. And then you have the ability to add a coupler in the front, and then the detail is really good with just a couple tiny things for nitpicking. So overall, very easy to say this is the best FEF Northern ever produced. And, you know, people are always going to pick on different things. Whatever it is, you can always adjust it. You know, some people don't like the sounds. You can change to the alternate whistle. You know, some people want to rip the decoder out. You rip the decoder out. But it's an awesome locomotive, and it does a great service to us 844 modelers and our modern UP excursion modelers. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care.